long lines and new faces at airports across the country, overseas conflicts and the impacts on the economy. Plus, America's talking. This is the Center Square Daily for Monday, March 23rd, 2023. I'm your host, Greg Bishop. The travel strain continues. Are you planning to travel for spring break? Well, you may see some long lines and some new faces at airports. U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents arriving at Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport Monday as security wait times continue to increase. The Center Square Associate Editor Kim Jarrett reports the airport posted on its website that passengers should arrive at least 4 hours before their flights. Hartsfield-Jackson's one of the largest and busiest airports in the country. Transportation security officials working without pay as a partial U.S. government shutdown continues. President Donald Trump ordered ICE to airports over the weekend as that shutdown persists, leading to lengthy delays for passengers. Now, Democrats in the U.S. Senate Friday, they again refused to vote in the funding for the Department of Homeland Security. While ICE is funded through the so-called Big Beautiful Bill Act that passed Congress last summer, other agencies such as TSA, Coast Guard, Secret Service, Cybersecurity, Infrastructure Security Agency, they have ceased non-essential operations and they face work shortages. This latest shutdown has lasted more than a month with no end in sight, and unpaid TSA agents, they've been calling in sick as the shutdown drags on, leading to sometimes 4-hour lines at security checkpoints at airports. All this happening as spring break travelers looking to escape to get some warmer weather. Now, Democrats withholding their votes on funding DHS, they want to require Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents to wear body-worn cameras and visible officer identification to identify themselves. They also want to limit immigration enforcement activities at various sensitive locations like schools and hospitals. They want to expand enforcement de-escalation training, and they want to mandate that the department report to Congress on compliance to these rules. Now, this morning, the president posted that he's a big proponent of ICE wearing masks as they search for and, as he says, are forced to deal with hardened criminals. But he went on to say that he would greatly appreciate no masks when ICE is helping our country, he says, out of the Democrat-caused mess at the airports. Now, border czar Tom Homan, he told CNN Sunday that ICE agents, they would be assisting in basic security needs, such as guarding airport entrances and exits and not conducting security line checks or bag inspections, which they're not trained to do. Now, cancellations impacting airports across the country, but cancellations and delays at North America's 7th busiest airport were actually down 90.7% and 35.5% respectively for the Friday, Saturday, Sunday weekend compared to just the week before. The Center Square managing editor, Alan Wooten, reports the spike March 13th through the 15th at Charlotte Douglas International Airport coincided with the first full paycheck missed by TSA workers. Numbers were also down at North Carolina's other two primary outlets in the Triangle and Triad. Nationwide, about 1 in 10 TSA workers have been absent daily for roughly 2 weeks. Queen City Media, they report Monday that they were told by the Charlotte Douglas officials they have not seen ICE at the airports. As of Monday, Charlotte Douglas over the weekend had 15 cancellations, 813 delays. All according to FlightAware. The previous weekend, it was 163 and 1,260, respectively. In a social media post during the weekend, Charlotte Douglas wrote, TSA remains essential to safe and effective travel at CLT, helping passengers stay on track while upholding the airport's security culture. They further said, as officers continue reporting to work without base pay during the ongoing government shutdown, CLT is organizing a gift card donation to support them. And even Tesla and SpaceX founder Elon Musk offering to pay the salaries of Transportation Security Administration employees to help ease the long waits at airports. Musk obviously is a billionaire. And with the ongoing partial government shutdown, now the second longest in American history, irritated Republicans in Congress are berating Senate Democrats who for the 5th time Friday blocked the advancement of the Department of Homeland Security funding bill. The Center Square's Therese Boudreau reports that failed vote highlights how firmly Democrats are entrenched in their opposition to any fiscal year 2026 Homeland Security funding that doesn't include an extensive list of new restrictions on immigration enforcement operations. And again, with no federal funding for DHS agencies, that's the TSA, the Coast Guard, Secret Service, Cybersecurity, and Infrastructure Security Agency, they've ceased those non-essential operations. Now, since the U.S.-Israeli-Iran conflict began in February, multiple attempted and successful Islamic terrorist attacks have occurred on U.S. soil in the states of Michigan, Virginia, New York, and other places. In a social media post Friday, Senate Majority Whip John Barrasso blamed the increased violent incidents on Democrats' refusal to reopen DHS. He said Americans need and deserve safety and security. He went on to say Democrats are preventing it, and they have blood on their hands. And that's a quote. Meanwhile, as the DHS funding lapse continues, the president says the U.S. is very close to meeting objectives in Iran. The Center Square's Washington, D.C. Bureau Chief Sarah Roderick Fitch reports that the president added the U.S. is considering winding down military operations. He made those comments in a Truth Social post Friday, but this morning, the president posting to Truth Social that he's pleased to report that the United States of America and the country of Iran have had, over the last 2 days, very good and productive conversations regarding a complete and total resolution of our hostilities in the Middle East. Based on the tenor and the tone of these in-depth, detailed, and constructive conversations, President Trump said he's instructed the Department of War to postpone any and all military strikes against Iranian power plants and energy infrastructure for a 5-day period. In other posts, Trump underscored Iran will never get close to a nuclear-capable country, allowing the U.S. to quickly and powerfully react to such a situation should it take place. Now, the latest development comes as the strikes began 3 weeks ago, and multiple reports indicating several thousand Marines are en route to the region. However, Trump refused to confirm that. The closure of the Strait of Hormuz has taken center stage this week as NATO allies have sparred with the president over commitments to help secure the strait. And as of Friday, DHS shutdown, it's cost the U.S. economy $2.5 billion, according to the Council of Economic Advisors. But what about the effects of the economy from the ongoing overseas military operations in Iran and the ongoing crisis around the Strait of Hormuz?